fever, headache, muscle ache, back ache, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion, respiratory symptoms. Sometimes people get rash first, followed by symptoms. Okay, most people with monkeypox will get a rash. Some people have developed rash before or without other symptoms. Interesting. This is what it looks like on the variations of skin. I love that the CDC has done this. It looks like a regular ass pimple. It looks like something you would want to pop. Dynamite! Dynamite! Let's talk about the monkeypox, right? Because a few things. One, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it on social media, and I'm not talking about it like from an analytical standpoint. I'm talking about like, oh yeah, man, my mama said it was nothing, and it's just like, it's just a little rash and it won't die. Once I start hearing my people talk like that, I feel it's time for me to address some shit. So, full disclosure, I don't know anything about monkeypox. So me and you about to get into this together. So we're going to do a quick deep dive. But what you're seeing right now is the back of a young child with smallpox. But let's go to the New York Times that has decided to gracefully give us access to this article without having a paywall. What puts someone at risk for catching monkeypox? Monkeypox spreads across the United States. It may be giving people flashbacks of the days of wiping down counters and groceries to get rid of coronavirus. But for most people, the risk of getting monkeypox remains low. Almost all cases in the current breakout, 98% have been in adult men who have sex with men. This is another kind of weird stat to put to it. I don't know if that's a helpful stat to mention, that only people that are 98% of people are gay men. Weird flex. But I mean, if you're doing it for scientific purposes, sure. So how is the virus spreading? Studies of previous outbreaks suggest that the monkeypox virus is transmitted in three main ways: through direct contact with an infected person's rash, by touching contaminated objects and fabrics, or by respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So the first one, touching their rash, and that's a weird one to me. So is it like, do you have to have open wound to open wound, or is it something that it's a virus? So it could probably go through the skin pigment, skin layers very quickly. The second one is sort of like what happened when the Europeans came to the United States and gave all those pillows and blankets to the natives. And the third one is what we remember from COVID. But that's just, what the New York Post says, right? So let's talk about the high risk. Activities that put a person at high risk of catching the virus involves close, intimate contact with another infected individual. This includes the kind of skin-to-skin contact that occurs during sex, as well as cuddling, hugging, massaging, or kissing another person. Condoms probably add layers of protection during sex, but they are unlikely to prevent contact with lesions on an infected person's groin, thigh, buttocks, or other parts of their body. Medium risk. When you come into respiratory droplets, that just screams Return of the Mask, right? Return of the Mask. Low risk. People are unlikely to get the virus by trying on clothes in stores or touching non-porous items like doors, handles, and countertops. Doctor, how the fuck you say this? My voice thing stopped working.
Popescu.
Oh, it works. Popescu said, personally, I'm less concerned with trying clothes in a store, she said. For those who are really nervous, she suggests just putting a new item in the laundry when they get home. All right, that's cool. So this article does one of two things. One, it puts it gave us a chart, so I guess we should use the chart. New England Journal of Medicine. Is this peer reviewed? Well, it's in the New England Journal. That doesn't mean anything, no. Citing articles, 21 references, Background results. Method. Reportedly 528. So this is a very small. 528 infected diagnosed between April 27th and June 24th at 43 sites in 16 countries. Overall, 98% of the infected were gay, bisexual men or bisexual men. 75% were white. 41% had human immunodeficiencies. Virus infection. This median age is 38 years. Transmission was suspected to have occurred through sexual activities. 95% of the persons who were infected in the case series, 95% of the presented with a rash, with 64% lesions. Okay. Conclusion. In this case series, the monkeypox infested with a variety of dermatologic and systemic clinical findings. The simulation. Oh wait, what? This word is kicking my ass. These words are kicking my ass today. Simultaneously identification of cases outside the area where monkeypox has traditionally been endemic highlights the need for rapid identification and diagnosis of cases that contain further community spread of cases to contain. And the thing that's kind of interesting is that it takes a while for these things to develop. So like you think about like anytime you've seen a rash on your body, yeah, you put some lotion on it, moisturize it, give it 2 or 3 days and it goes away. And if it stays there long enough, you call it eczema. So there's no real clear indications until you get like a blood test. But how many people getting rashes and going to go get a blood test? How to protect yourself. The CDC tells us avoid close skin contact, avoid contact with objects and materials that they think you have, wash your hands with soap and water. Is there a vaccine? People more likely to get the CDC recommends vaccination for people who have been exposed to monkeypox and people who may be likely to get it. So there is already a vaccine. So I guess that's good. People who have been identified by public health officials as a contact of someone with monkeypox, people who are aware that they will come into contact, basically. So okay, so it's like basically at your own discretion. Treatments, healthcare professional, laboratories, health department. Let's see. Prevention. We've already talked about that. Signs and symptoms. Here we go. Fever, headache, muscle ache, back ache, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion, respiratory symptoms. Sometimes people get rash first, followed by symptoms. Okay, most people with monkeypox will get a rash. Some people have developed rash before or without other symptoms. Interesting. This is what it looks like on the variations of skin. I love that the CDC has done this. It looks like a regular ass pimple. It looks like something you would want to pop. This is under his beard. Under that lip. Hands, back. It also looks like a wart, sort of, kind of. Damn, or a mosquito bite. So this is the real deal. But now we got some pictures. Now we got some information. But hey, you know what? I wanted to talk about it. Protect yourselves. There's a line of defense here. Clean up. Put on a mask. I mean, be careful. I don't know if the whole I wonder if the CDC mentions anything about the gay sex monkeypox. Let's see. Monkeypox and gay men. Did I spell monkeypox right? Reducing stigma. Okay, so yeah, they're talking about reducing the stigma, so that means it's already come up before, which is super engaging. Framing communications around monkeypox, helping people make. So yeah, there's an article out on this already. For messages to gay, bisexual men, it's important to reach out in disproportionately affected communities. So like this, they even have to come up with statements like this. It's crazy. But ultimately what it comes down to, protect yourself, be aware of your options, and if you're feeling that nervous about it, there's vaccine options available. So we should make use of that as soon as possible.